welcome, Heroes of the Storm fans of all ages. We have a Div C matchup of the NGS in Season 19 today between HoTS Tuah and Deny Defend Dehaka. I'm Omster, and once again today we have the privilege of co-casting with Faint to Parry.
Hello, hello.
So, we see that our teams today, HoTS Tuah has banned Garden of Terror and the Battlefield of Eternity, and Deny Defend Dehaka has banned Cursed Hollow and Braxis Holdout. So they actually both banned a triple channel map and a two-lane map. So first map is going to be on Sky Temple. What does that make you think of, Faint?
Well, globals, as usual, and we see here in this game as well, we've already got 3 globals, the Falstad on blue team, as well as the Brightwing Dehaka on red team. Even to some extent, Lunara could do some cheeky things at 20, although I doubt we'll see that talent. So we should expect to see probably Chen and Dehaka just handling the top lane early on, the 4-mans both rotating bot to mid, and maybe some spicy global action.
I think it's possible with Tassadar as a goalkeeper, we might see a 1-1-3 with either Falstad or Chen top and the other one middle, with more of a push in the bottom or at least a holding action by Tassadar, Murd, and Anduin in the bottom. But we know Code's Murden is very aggressive, so I would look for engages. And you're right. I mean, I think Greymane and Nar can be quite vulnerable characters, but with Dehaka and Brightwing able to come into any situation to make it an outnumbered situation, they might be able to bait some of the members of HoTS Tuah into situations they don't want to be in, potentially. So we'll intro our teams here, and we'll see what we can have between these two teams. Hey, Shiggity. See what we get between these teams of HoTS Tuah and Deny Defend Dehaka. So, in the blue side, we do have HoTS Tuah. We got Chicken Meow on the Chen. We've got Codename Zero on the Murd, and Memius is on the Tassadar. He's not playing Vala or a healer. Uh-oh. Pulverize is on the Falstad, and Vexta is on Anduin. On the right, we do have Deny Defend Dehaka. We've got Whole Foods on the Dehaka, War Wolf on the Lunara, Arthanau on the Greymane, Lulu is on the Fruitfly Brightwing, and Johanna is being played by Arrow. We don't have all of our level 1 talents locked in quite yet as these teams head for the Vision Shrine. Anything jumping out at you so far?
Yeah, it's interesting to see Murden taking third wind here. Should be going for some aggressive and repeated trades. You see quite the dive to start off. Chen gets pulled though, makes it out. Murden should also be okay, assuming he does not get tongued. And I think he will be good.
An excellent censure there from Anduin stops the chase down in its tracks. So we do see freshest ingredients, which is the regen ability, and the fortifying bruise cooldown and more shield persisting after drinking. Now I believe that also counts with the sharing talent at 16 or 13, whichever it is. So that can give your team semi-permanent shields once that's complete. We do have the third wind and the static charge, so not the Scion Fusion, but the shock ray stacking. And we have auto attack fall set and the power word shield. Whereas on the other side, we do see more kind of gentle tickling back and forth in this mid lane. We do have tissue regeneration, so not race car Dehaka, but tankier Dehaka. The hyper shift, it is viciousness again, not the Worgen form. Sentinel Wisp and Flashlight to Johanna with the Zealous Glare. Both teams are going to go for their camp early. Codename Zero just having a bit of a peek, and both of the offlaners just doing their offlaner things. Well, it seems Greymane is kind of being sent to just kind of match up with the Falstad early game as both teams look to soak and take their camps. Nothing crazy so far. Do you think either of these compositions should give a team an advantage on the shrines themselves?
Let's hold off on that and see right now with this bottom push. Looks like because blue team is taking their top bruiser, they already get shoved in very hard with the Giants pushing the bot. So I think that red team will probably get off to an early lead here, maybe by taking this entire front gate if blue team does not.
Falstad did do a good job of ignoring the Giants at first and just clearing the wave, which meant Greymane couldn't get those powerful Worgen autos onto the gate. So with the wave coming in, that may give all, but it isn't a Q Falstad, so he doesn't have the burst. He's got to auto these, and he does not want to walk into Lenaro Greymane while he's autoing.
Yeah,
But yes, they lose most of one tower. Will it go down to the... Yes, it goes down to the giant punish. But in the top lane, there's now a 3-man push from our HoTS to a blue team, pushing towards the top fort. And there's only a Dehaka, and now there isn't even a Dehaka. He's backing and maybe looking to dig in later. Now, Lunara can really punish Falstad in the 1v1. I've heard this from Lunara players, probably you mostly.
yeah, I do like Lunara, and a lot of auto attackers are really, well, may not. I guess I'll just say Lunara is a very good skirmishy kind of character in general. And he took the healing at 4, which is interesting. Don't see that quite often. It might lead to, yeah, it might lead to a little less goalie capability from Red Team, but they may not end up needing that.
Flying here from Falstad, but Arthur jumps on him immediately. Dehaka does get blown up, killed by that flying in Falstad. Arthur has to back out. Arrow is low also, and first blood will go to HoTS Tuah. Paul Rise is taking a lot of damage. He gets low, and Arthur now finishes him off with the Worgen form, although it will be credited to a minion. So it's 1-for-1 after that engage, and Arrow is going hard, looking to get condemns on everybody. The Sentry will catch, so they're looking for the turn. Arrow only has 200 hit points, but Brightwing just barely manages to save the Crusader.
Yeah, continuing to fight on that spell armor is pretty rough.
Luna soloing the mid at the moment, while Brightwing solos the top. HoTS Tuah is currently on the back foot in terms of these shrines. Werewolf taking a lot of damage here, though. Well, if Chen had checked that Butch, that would have been the end of Lunara, but he focuses first on the shrine to take what shots he can get left. While in the top, they're fighting over. Whole Foods is very low, and Paul Rise doing tons of damage to Arthur now. Greyman has to back up, and that's one thing Brightwing isn't strong at pre-10, is getting these very low health bars beefed up quickly. So, about half the shots approximately went over to denied defend Dehaka, but now the other half will go over, so it will end up being fairly even between these two teams. Even as they look to try to kill Dehaka here, a good burrow will keep him alive for now.
You know, nice pressure here from blue team, forcing red to stay and continue to defend that forward. Not that they're going to be able to do much with the structure already getting threaded by that OBJ. So.
The last 5 shots will come out right now. Is it enough to destroy it? No, it leaves it. Oh, it just barely falls to minion pressure. And that was only a 4v5. This whole time, Chen has been bottom. Put some good damage there.
And Chen might try to run in here, but they're not going to be able to really catch him or do much, so they'll just clear out the wave and go both to their camps.
Falstad flies bottom, has to use the barrel roll to dodge the condemn, but Chen, since his I mean, it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but it was honestly like 5 or 6 years ago now. Chen, since his kind of reshuffle of abilities, getting the stagger and getting more focus on his jumping, or his leaping kick, flying kick, sorry. He's a bit more of a duelist than he was in the past, and I think sometimes people still underestimate how much damage he can do to lower health heroes.
Yeah, Falstad doing a good trade just now into that Lunara. I'm guessing that he used his level 1 attack speed bonus and having that level 7 Q at the same time does quite good damage into her. Especially because it looks like she did not take Choking Pollen either. She'll heal up quickly, especially with that level 4.
We do have the Splinter Spear, so this is actually going to be the toxic autos, which means Lunara has kind of tickle damage until 20. But does have more spread than her Choking Pollen build has. This is more designed to tax the healer, this build, than to really blow people's health bars away.
Yeah, and to slow multiple people at once with W.
Which really does help the Grey Main, letting him get in and cause lots of damage and lots of pain. But 10s come in much earlier. We see the Keg, Avatar, Black Hole, Mighty Gust, and Light Bomb, but they're coming in. And we already see the Blessed Shield. Here comes the Keg, and Chicken Meow really does like using this Keg. They've locked Lunara into an area, but Arrow pushing the team away with that Condemn. So, multiple ultimates are used, but nobody goes down.
Still have Black Hole and Light Bomb. We'll see if there's a Light Bomb Shen engaged.
And they have to be careful of this Grey Main still having Go for the Throat, which to characters like Anduin and Falstad is very scary. Vextha stepping up really farther. If he'd have gotten tongued, that probably was the end of him.
Chen's still lingering. It's possible for a Light Bomb Shen Q.
14 seconds left on Keg as well. It's got a short cooldown.
Well, they will want to be careful not to go too deep straight into the gate. This is a pure ARAM right now.
It's true. In the mid lane, lots of experience left. and top lane as well, but we'll focus on this fight. Chicken Meow comes in. Here comes the Keg with the Light Bomb. They do catch Dehaka. Does he have a burrow available? Codename Zero is just zoning the rest of the team, but it's a full 5v5. The Black Hole comes out and doing tons of damage. Arrow's getting very low on the Johanna. Brightwing barely saves him, but it looks like they will catch the Dehaka here. Dehaka will go down. The Gust pushes Arthur now into corners. Paul Rise looks to get a little more damage on, but now Warwolf will poke with the damage that you can get from these Lunara's spears. Chicken Meow will capture the bottom, and there's a huge wave pushing mid that Codename Zero is looking to support right now. Lulu taking a lot of it. The Stormbolt comes through, does a ton of damage. The Skullcracker also stuns.
Yeah,
and
it won't die, but it's close, and also enough to really kind of force some defense on mid.
So a huge wave gathering top as well, with the catapults coming since that top had been lost. And HoTS Tuah has gone from being a little bit on the back foot.
Tassador's gonna get jumped, but will the
Codename Zero is here to help, but it's not enough, and the double leap kills the Protoss leader. Arthur now getting knocked back by Keg, but some good positioning by him means that Chicken Meow is not able to knock him into towers. They are jumping on, but it's a 4v3 here. Avatar is popped. Here comes the light, but Arthur now trying to get out, but is not able to. It is kicked on by Chicken Meow and killed by the Chen. It looks like Lulu will also go down here. Yes, also murderized by Chen. The alcohol keeping him alive, as I'm not really an alcoholic. I just drink it to stay alive.
Yeah, Chen actually doing quite a bit of damage there and was able to make up the difference. For
the stagger's keeping him alive for now. Will he get drinking time? He does. And it is at 13 where there's enough to share. But Chicken Meow and Codename Zero getting very low. But again, the drink is enough. Ben with the last few shots.
Look for a Gust flank. Check the Gust flank on the right side.
Here it comes. And Greymane and Brightwing are still far away. Paul Rise does jump in. Hasn't used Gust yet. A great wall traps Lunara in. The last few shots will go over to our red team, but Lunara is going to be
die. Yeah, even if she leaps, she'll die.
Did I defend Dehaka? Did not do the last two. Did not do the last two. What? Raka. So
we see.
Yeah, they're going for this boss here.
Buy some more camp takes, or potentially just shoving out mid.
Paul Rise does get caught here. There is a wave gathering mid. But Arthur now taking a look, realizes there's no chance of doing anything here, so they will capture the top vision as Johanna starts to come back. And again, even if they had shown up, Keg would have made this almost guaranteed for our blue team.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how aggressive blue team goes here.
They do want to take this camp, and they do manage to take it, but there is a silence on the Murder, and the light bomb's on him, but he can't see where any of his opponents are.
Yeah.
It is a 4v5 as Tassador's just coming into this fold now. Arrow's taking a ton of damage. Another fantastic wall. Memmius walls on this Tassador have been money. So, Codename Zero is here.
Tongue? The tongue? Yeah.
Oh, and even with the Avatar, that is the end of Murden. They got a little too greedy when they had the camp and the boss pushing, and now they're going to have to let it push on its own while they focus on taking down the mid fort with Chen tanking. Did not defend Dehaka? Oh, I see. Well done. Well done, Raka. I didn't get the joke, but you're right.
Well, Dehaka definitely did defend his base there by getting that tongue on Murder.
Good tongue and a good isolation. Like, the light bomb went out, but I don't think Vexta realized that his tank was blind and had no way of seeing where the opponents were. But they really locked down that Joe. And again, Memmius' walls have really been in choke points, which have forced the opponents to have to go the long way around, and they don't have the hit points for that. They're looking to get the surround on the Dehaka here. He's getting chunked. There's the drag, but he has no teammates. And now Chicken Meow's here. Whole Foods. He has to pop his trade. He's got tons of hit points. The Bright will come out as well, but now it's a 5v2. It's a big split. Out comes the stun. Lulu does get the blink heal out. That is safe, but it's impossible to escape from the Chen. Paul Rise incredibly low. He gets killed, but so does Dehaka, as once again, Deny manages to not defend Dehaka. They're jumping onto Warwolf with the Chen. Arthur now is just trying to retreat as Johanna incredibly low, even with the spell. Another wall from Memmius kills the uncaped Crusader just as the temples are coming to life again.
They got their 16s mid-fight as well, and now with 16s plus those kills, they'll get both temples. They'll probably get a camp steal after that at some point.
And they've got a full health bruiser camp charging towards the top. Again, at 20, Lunara will become a beast, but this auto-attack Lunara build is not the favorite of people. And one of the main reasons is it takes so long to come online before Lunara does what we call real damage.
Or the
Now,
difficulty also is in not taking the level 4 PvE talent on Lunara. That will make the clear a bit slower. Now, granted, you do have a Dehaka and a Greymane, plus even the Brightwing Z, so she can actually offer a little bit of soak value herself, but
and this
it
has
does
gotten
mean
this
a
has gone
PvE
from
issue.
bad to worse for our red team. They're really struggling right now.
Yeah, they are 16 now, so they can
They're
turn it
looking to
around.
hop in. They have the
Here,
4v3. They
there's a blast.
jump onto the Vexta, and Anduin has been murderized. There's a disengage attempt with the black hole, but they're getting onto Memmius. The huge slow from the Lunara. Codename Zero attempting to peel, and it looks like he's able to, for the moment. A great wall from Memmius will ensure their escape.
ISO narrowly missed there, and Murden was able to get out and peel well for his team. So we should see red team maybe try to do some aggressive stuff, use the Greymane.
They want to get onto Chicken Meow. He does have Keg if he deems it energy. He used it to knock Arthanau into the turret, and even with Lulu's healing, they kill. That was a complete turnaround on that gank. It's still a 2v3, but Chen can handle it, leaping all across it. Codename Zero has come down. Pulverizes here. The Stormbolt onto Lunara, uses the Leaping Shark to get out, but they may have just sacrificed Jonah as the wall comes out again.
Yeah, a little desperate there, trying to run at the Chen, but he can always turn things around, especially when he's got a 4 to back him up. That was almost entirely solo kill.
Oh man, beautiful play there, insecking the Greymane there with the Keg. And Chicken Meow has got to feel good. He played Chen twice in their last game. He's on Chen again now, and he's starting to show why this character should not be underrated in the offlane at this point in time.
Right, even on this map, and even with the lack of macro that Chen brings, he can still certainly make huge plays in team fights, as we just saw. And now he will go and clear top wave. Dehaka will back, and it seems Lunara will have to spend quite a lot of time clearing out bot, again, because of that lack of PvE at 4. We'll see if Greymane goes down there as well, but it looks like because blue team is pushing full mid, we will...
I get this is the time you want to push, but as you're just prior to 20, I think this is pretty risky from HoTS Tuah.
They can still do it if they are at least somewhat. Yeah, exactly. They let both sets of giants push in bot, and they continue to pressure mid. As soon as they see them split, they can continue to be aggressive.
Oh yeah, and they got a ton of damage onto the Johanna. The Iron Skin will save her for now. Lulu is stunned. The Blessed Shield whiffs. It hits nobody, and now Lulu's in a ton of danger. Pulverize does have the barrel roll out, and a good disengaging black hole there from Memmius. And nobody dies. The 20s have just come in now. There's the gust, but we do see the Avatar, not Rewind, from Codename Zero. Purifying Brew giving Chen Unstoppable, which is very scary for an anti-Chen team. The Forest Barrier, the Wind Tunnel, and I suspect we will see Censure. No, we see the Light Bomb. Inner Fire for Anduin. They're looking to make a gank as their opponents push out. Interesting. Pre-20, very aggressive. Post-20, guys, let's set up a Chinese party push. Red team looking to take the boss here. This is very risky, and it could be a game-ending throw.
If they'd had Greymane there, if they'd had all 5 there rushing it from the outset, I would have liked it a bit more. But I think it's still doable now. I mean, knowing what we know, at least in terms of blue team being on the Bruiser camp.
They're gonna try to rotate, but they can't get here in time. Codename Zero is Poppy Evar. He's trying to stop it, but he's all alone and he will die. And now who's gonna stand on this point? Is it Chen?
Keg though. Keg is gonna come through, but he might not have time. I think it'll be too late.
It is too late. Even with the Wind Tunnel and the Keg, the boss will go over to deny defend Dehaka, but they are gonna lose some members. Warwolf does go down to that. Arthanau leaps in, tries to get onto the Falstad, but the barrel roll will keep him safe for now. So it is a 1-for-1 as Muradin and Lunara go down, and the boss will go over to deny defend Dehaka. There's still a few shots, 9 shots left on the top temple if anyone wants to grab it.
Yeah, we'll probably go do so now. The macro pressure is still too high. Dehaka will be there to match him, so we'll see what happens there.
In a duel, I think Chen wins it, but it looks like the members of the red team will be rotating up here more quickly.
Yeah, he is.
But Dehaka will back out, and Johanna stopped to clear this Bruiser camp. So these last 9 shots will go to HoTS Tuah. Sorry, HoTS Tuah. They're spitting on these things.
They could potentially steal bottom giants as well. They have the macro pressure to do so.
Now 20s have come out for our opposing team as well. We have Contagion and Hunter's Blunderbuss. Intensifying Talk, and Lunara is now very dangerous. Blinded by the lights of the big shield from Johanna. Brightwing has yet to choose, but I do wonder if we will see Warwolf is an odd name for a deer. A deer what? A dear friend? A dear lover? Oh, Chicken Meow is sitting on a
Standing
sentinel
on
and
the
gets
whip.
seen.
Yeah. I don't think it matters though. He's
Oh.
trying to dig himself out.
The keg misses because of the leaping strike, and now Chicken Meow's at half health. The
Will the
black
tackle matter? Not that
No.
much. It will do some good damage on Brightwing there.
The Blessed Shield
Oh,
comes
and
out, but doesn't seem to catch anything. Once again, that wall means Johanna is dead. Dehaka will dive in, but it's too late now. He takes a ton of damage. It is going to be invisible friends for Brightwing, but the wall is going to mean that Dehaka dies as well. And they
Yeah,
can
the
pretty much
ball.
choose any keep they want to kill.
Death Ball's just too much. I mean, they could end the game here if they get like one more kill, and with bot camp pushing as well, I think they just end.
Well, the death timers are so long, 17 and a half minutes, and they're going to jump on Arth now, but the Polymorph will prevent Chicken Meow, but he does get the unstoppable drink here. Codename Zero goes hard on the Greymane as they're looking to take both these keeps, as both sets of Siege Giants are lumbering towards the core of Deny Defend Dehaka.
If they escort the siege, oh yeah, now
There's a
Greymane will
keg,
die.
yeah. Greymane is going to go down, and he does. The Tassadar auto finishes him off. It's still 15 seconds before Johanna comes back up, and even with the disruption of these tornadoes, it looks like it's game one. Lulu the Brightwing is killed. Warwolf is all alone, trying to spread toxic spears all around, but these guys have the antidote, and it's more cowbell! There is the wind tunnel, meaning there will be no defense. Game number 1 will go to Tuah. They kind of took control of that game with some of the big Chen plays from Chicken Meow, and they never let go. They put their the pedal to the metal, and there wasn't many opportunities for Deny Defend Dehaka to come back in that game. Even with that boss take.
Yeah, it was well played as a nice boss attempt there. You know, recognizing that the enemy team was probably go do other things, both taking top temple and I guess taking their bruiser camp, but probably would have wanted to have Greymane on that sooner. It looks like there might have been some split focus there from red team. Greymane on the bruiser alone at the start. But
Yeah. So game number 1 does go over to our red team. We'll take you guys back to the BO3 screen as we pull up the next replay. More cowbell. ETC isn't in this game. I know, and it's a tragedy. Just a tragedy. It looks like game number 2 will be on Dragonshire. What does that make you think? Faint?
oh well, I'm a Rexar fan, so I'm curious to see if we'll encounter the bear, the boar, and the Rexar. But
It looks like no.
looks
In
like
fact,
no. Looks like on Artanis with the this is interesting with red team bring out the Zeratul. They'll probably try to 2v1 the off lane. So Diva might face a lot of pressure here. I'm curious if they'll play it that way or if they'll still try to play with a 4-man bot side, although it's very difficult to do so with Zeratul being weak early.
yeah, Dragonshire is another map where how you use your resources is incredibly important. Globals are important here, but we're not seeing really anything in that vein. No Brightwing, no Dehaka, no Falstad. It does look like it's going to predominantly, like you said, it's going to be Zeratul. Whether he can be a difference maker or not is probably going to decide this game, because if he can't be a difference maker in either the top or bottom lane, then his team's probably just going to get run down.
Red team will need to play more of a macro style because blue team has a double support comp with a hyper carry Vala, and so they'll want to stack her up. I'm assuming she'll take auto build, and they'll eventually, build up a very brutal front to back that Garrosh won't be able to handle.
So I do know that Diva is a pocket pick for Codename Zero. This wasn't just a silly random thing. He has brought her to this map before, and I do believe he's won on this map with her before. So there's obviously something he likes about this Artanis Diva matchup. But without any further ado, let's get into this game, introduce our teams, and see if Tuah can seal this in 2, or if Deny Defend Dehaka can bring us to a game number 3. This is game 2 between Tuah and Deny Defend Dehaka. In the blue team, on the left side of your screen, we do have Tuah. We've got Chicken Meow on the Johanna. We've got Memmius on his trademark Vala. Vextha has brought Uther. Codename Zero on the Diva. and Pulverize on the second healer, Rhaegar. In the red, Deny, Defend, Dehaka. Arrow is on the Garrosh. We've got Lulu on the Anduin. Whole Foods bringing Artanis. Zeratul is Arthanau. And War Wolf is bringing Hanzo. So we see Q build, the Greater Cleave, the Power World Shield. Redemption Hanzo. So this won't be Scatter Arrow, which is a bit interesting. That's Stack Tanis and Unrivaled Strength from the Garrosh. But we do see Zealous Glare, Full Metal from the D.Va. Hungering Arrows, this will not be auto, this will be Q stack Vala. W build, Stormcaller Rhaegar, so not the totem build we most frequently see, and auto attack Hammer of Lightbringer Uther. So a number of unusual level 1s from our blue team. Are you seeing any anything in there, or do you think this is just personal preference, Fane?
I'm guessing there's probably some personal preference. I do know Memmius is definitely a fan of Q build, so it makes sense to be on comfort with that, although having a double support and not taking auto build might end up being less than favorable later, but Q build can certainly still bring a lot of damage and still be a fine, hyper carry. You can still probably take Manticore at 16, so that will help shred through Garrosh. On the other hand, with Hanzo going Redemption, he does also want to play more front-to-back style, which in general is probably not going to be as favorable for Red Team going to a double support comp, but maybe they can force Blue Team to split up a bit more and force one of their healers to go mid more often, like we already see happening with Rhaegar. Zeratul will, I'm guessing, be the one mostly on mid duty, with the other three kind of staying as a tight core between Garrosh, Hanzo, and Anduin on bottom.
Yeah, Arthanau quite low already for whatever traits he's taken, and it is a bit difficult to play Falstad into a Johanna, as her flashlight can easily find you. But in the top, we do see D.Va in her mech form, and Artanis looking to trade out. Stack Tanis getting lots of auto attacks here. As we also have 5 stacks on the Redemption for Hanzo. Both teams will get their Giants, but there's only 2 bottom right now for HoTS Tuah, as Uther and Vala have come to take their Bruiser camp, but that is going to put both shrines, the Shrine of the Sun and the Shrine of the Moon, in the hands of Deny, Defend, Dehaka, but D.Va will recapture this because Artanis is very bad at trying to focus on both capturing that and pushing Wave. Wave clear is not his strength. Arthanau looking to see if he can find value here. He considers it.
Notice bottom, they've been pushing in Giants with that Hanzo there for a while, so they're already going to take like almost the whole gate.
Yeah, tower's down, the other's at half. Chicken Meow will come in from behind. This has been a role swap, the tank and the off lane. We do see Zeratul mid, but Memmius will be guarding this. It is 3v3 in the bottom. Arrow throws, pulverizes Rhaegar here. He does do the butt bite onto Arrow, taking a good chunk of damage, but Garrosh is actually kind of fine with that. There's not anyone here who can do a lot of damage. Vala's not here, but she is coming in now. Down to 90 hit points.
Ult comes through right at the last second. Garrosh armor getting hell value there. But the gate was locked at the time. They weren't clearing the Giants, and so they have retaken the OBJ, which is nice, although Zera will be able to stall it mid.
The gate is gone, but in the top, there's a huge wave with this camp pushing, so they will likely lose top gate unless the double Protoss can clear it out quickly. But in the bottom, they do finally catch out Garrosh. Arrow just a touch too aggressive and gets murderized by this hyper carry comp. And we see 11 stacks on the Puncturing Arrow for Vala so far. Already 68 autos on Uther so far, although he probably got quite a few of those with that top camp.
Yeah, some other interesting things we're seeing. Hanzo's almost done with his stack, so he'll do a lot more damage to Joe, or really to anyone he's able to hit. Just more consistent damage from him. And we'll also see, I'm guessing Void Prison Zeratul, based on the Q at 1 and 4. So he won't necessarily be outright deleting people on side lanes, but into a double support comp, I can see why that doesn't make sense anyway. The best bet that they could probably accomplish in a team fight here with the red team is that they get a Garrosh flip on someone and then a VP on the rest of the team trying to support that target and then kill and isolate that target that way.
7s have been reached for Deny, Defend, Dehaka. Arthanau coming in from behind, looking to target Memmius, but misses the W. The Pulse Bomb? I forget what that's called.
Void,
Singularity Spike, sorry.
Bomb.
So So it is a 4v4 in the bottom here. Mimius very low on mana, and as Q build Vala, that means your damage is going to be very restricted. Chicken Meow also completely out of mana. Arrow is taking a lot of damage, and so is Johanna. And down to 250 health, but Chicken Meow could die to the full stack redemptions here of World. Arthur now comes in from the back, tries to kill Johanna, not quite able. It does get Laga. No! Uses his one ability to kill the Johanna, but does get caught.
A good attempt there. I think he was trying to go permanent Viz in that left side bush, but the timing didn't work out because they face checked it too soon.
Yeah, that Vorpal Blade teleport really caught the blue team by surprise, and it meant that he was able to finish off the Joe. And considering how low his health was, pretty worthwhile trade. However, blue team still has control of the bottom shrine, red team still has control of the Shrine of the Sun. And in the middle, D.Va is just tickling minions. Can you hear their quiet little tee-hee-hees, tee-hee-hees?
Yeah, I'm also hearing a slight irritation sound that Artanis, whatever irritation sound Artanis would make if you can come up with one for not being able to stack that much. Because I think what D.Va's doing here is just trying to double soak as much as she can, forces Zeratul to answer it, and then desync the waves like this so that she plays back, and then Artanis does not get much time to stack.
Only 40 stacks means he only has a 4% boost at 6 minutes into the game, which is, again, it split Zeratul into the mid, and now their blue team is able to support their giants and have taken out almost half of this fort in the bottom lane already.
Yeah, we see them brawling top as well, but not for very long.
Zeratul was considering going top, but now he's coming bottom. He sees how deep they're pushed in.
VP? Let's see what happens.
There is a light bomb. Out comes a light bomb, though. They're going to lock them down. And we do see a fantastic ancestral healing there onto the Vala. Will keep her alive. But they're on Rigor. Out comes the VP. Memius gets sniped down by the Hanzo. Lulu gets thrown forward. And they do kill Uther as well. Pulverize is killed. It's a 3 for nothing. And Hanzo is going wild. Arrow tries to flip Chicken Meow, but unfortunately catches the minion instead. They're jumping on Johanna, but she is running away.
And her conviction, level 10 move speed will enable her to outrun them. They should get a OBJ here though after those kills. Good patience with Zeratul holding the VP.
Yeah, not canceling out the light bomb by casting it too early. So good comms here, good clear comms. They lost their fort, but it looks like they'll get one in return here in the bottom lane. So Joe went Falling Sword. We want micro missiles from the D.Va, so not the bunny hop. Rain of Vengeance for Vala, Ancestral, which we saw, and the Divine Storm, which I believe we also saw in that last fight. Yes, it's still on cooldown as Johanna gets booted into the Nether Sphere. On the other hand, we did see the Void Prison, Light Bomb, Dragon's Arrow, Suppression Pulse, and Warlord Challenge. So this is not a Decimate Garage. This is the Taunt, which with double healer could actually be very, very effective considering they're both melee healers.
Good timing there for the Anduin to get the pull out on Hanzo. What's interesting too is because we have a Zeratul and a Light Bomb?
The taunt into the light bomb, but the good unstoppable there. Cleanse onto the Uther from the Rexar. They're going to jump onto Arrow, but lots of damage here from Arthur. Codename Zero and Artanis are here as well. Good swap from Artanis to prevent the mech from doing much damage, but now it's in the middle of the team. Arthur now is incredibly low. It blows away Hanzo. Memius kills Zeratul, and it's a 3 for 0 the other way, as this time it is advantage HoTS Tuah. Now, they don't get a Dragonite for their troubles like their opponents did, but they will go for this bottom shrine, and they have a huge wave pushing towards the bottom keep gate.
Yeah, great entrance from the D.Va there, forcing the 5v4. What's interesting too is noticing this level 10 from Joe, the Falling Sword. That will help to cleanse out a Light Bomb falling either Zera jumping in with a Light Bomb or a VP in a Light Bomb. So that's an interesting adaptation there. I like that.
When pulverizes cleanse onto the Uther, because of course heroes can't cleanse themselves, as he was the only one who was in range of the Light Bomb, made it completely useless.
It also deals with the Hanzo stun. If you get the Hanzo stun arrow into a VP or a Light Bomb or some combination of those things. You used it awfully early now, though. Maybe I'm not sure what he's worried about.
Falling Sword there to try to prevent anyone from getting caught by Zera or by Garrosh here.
I don't believe Falling Sword does anything against VP. I think they would just it ended up being a waste if you already had Falling Sword out. And then
Singularity Spike slow.
Prepare yourselves, heroes.
It does, yeah, the 7.
So I think he may have wanted to prevent the team from being slowed and just let them get out.
I didn't see. Maybe Zeratul got a W on someone. He's worried he's about to get jumped.
but it does get the team out safely. Kills are 5-4, slightly in favor of our blue team here. HoTS Tuah. Chicken Meow looking to put some pressure onto Whole Foods as Codename clears out this bruiser camp as they wait for their own to push.
Looks
Shrines
like
are
blue
up
team
in 1
wants to
second.
take the mid for it, but will red team collapse on them before that is... They'll
It's down,
get
but
it,
there's
will
no
they get
front
collapsed?
line here. The
There's the
VP
VP.
comes out.
Here comes... they're a little late, though. Red team's a little late to this.
Another.
Oh,
The Divine Storm comes out, but their taunt catches 3. Here's a Light Bomb,
Yeah,
catches 3 as well. That's so much damage. The Ancestral comes out, but it's not soon enough. Paulbride's taking so much damage. He's being pinged as the target. Swapped by Artanis. That may have made him more safe. The heals are coming out from Ghost Uther, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, the shield out from Pulverize. They're chasing him all over, and that lets the rest of his team survive. It is still a 2-0, however, as this top lane Bruiser camp has taken this fort down to about 10% of its health, and it looks like it will go down regardless of Zeratul attempts to break it. However, with Codename Zero being flipped in, it looks like for now she's the one to defend this fort. But she kills Hanzo!
Yeah, that's rough. He's going to have to get his stacks up again. That was a nice patience, though, I got to say, from both Garrosh and Anduin there. It's recognizing that the Falling Sword was going to immediately cleanse out the VP targets, and they just held their CC and were able to punish off that.
Wow, really well done there, and good patience, and that's something D.Va can bring that maybe no other character can, is when really played well, that mech, it really gives you an opportunity for like a second life there. There is the swap on the Codename, but still only 90%, so about 10% more damage on the autos for Artanis, which at this point in the game, you almost wish you'd have gone reactive parry, especially for the Vala autos, because, you know, I guess the autos, I guess Codename Zero's, I guess the D.Va autos would clear it out pretty quickly. So you still want some value from the stack Tannis, but it's not getting a lot of value. Another good swap there, which does let them capture that. In the bottom, we do see the 4v4. Arrow's already getting very low. Runs and Vex, but the Hungering Arrow is chunking. Out comes the VP. It's on 3. They're looking to Light Bomb it here. Will they get the timing? Yes, that's 3. They're putting so much damage on Amemius. A great Ancestral Healing comes out, as does the Divine Storm. And they're using these. They do flip Hanzo out. A good flip there by Arrow. Arthur, the Dragon Arrow hits 4, but it looks like Arthur now is still going to go down. They kill the Zeratul there. Pulverize jumps in, and this healing is too much. The Hanzo doesn't have enough AoE damage, and with all the stuns and control they have here, Zeratul cannot safely blow up Vala yet. Artanis will take the top shrine, but in the meantime, D.Va is pushing a wave straight to Deathbridge.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're not seeing a lot of action around the actual objective of this map, but you know, you don't need to if you have other plans.
Both teams really seeming to enjoy just fighting it out, sieging it up. Who needs a Dragon Knight? Hanzo once again hits his redemption stack for I believe the 3rd time this game. I think he's died twice.
We may have jinxed it because I think we will see the Dragon Knight come out right here. Rigor's already in position. D.Va already pinged it and is moving up. Blue team has got enough macro or enough map control that it's not like red team can really do much here. So
and there it
is. The dragon.
So sometimes the shaman Rhaegar gets to turn into a wolf, and sometimes he gets to turn into a dragon. That's canonical. Sorry, what thing?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. So Hero's knockback on Zera. That actually canceled his VP. It looks like it went on a 10-second CD, or maybe it was already getting down that low.
Out comes the Dragon's Arrow. Doesn't think on. Here's the taunt on 2, though. The pull onto Arrow. Pulverize is taking a lot of damage here as the Rhaegar. Out comes a Light Bomb, and it won't catch anybody, but Rhaegar will go down. The VP catches 3 as Artanis was leaping in. So much damage from Arthur. He goes down. They will kill Memius. Vexa will go down as well. He's going to try and heal Chicken Meow on his way out as there's a huge slow here. D.Va is free pushing top, though.
Zeratul really wanted that last Q to get his 16 extra 40% damage, but that is a little risky to do into a Uther who can be in melee range already.
So they're jumping onto the D.Va here. She doesn't have the ability to get back in her mech, so she will go down also. So it ends up being a 4-for-1 for the members of Deny Defend Dehaka, and they're going to jump onto this camp. And they are ahead in kills right now. It's 10-8, although they are 3/4 of a level behind for 20. That may not matter since it's going to take 45 seconds for HoTS Tuah to have their 5-man back.
Yeah, very, very aggressive from Blue Team there. We saw at least 5 to 10 tower shots come through, or fort shots on heroes, mostly hitting the tank and then hitting the Rhaegar, I think, near the end there. So it's a little aggro, but they were able to at least get through that mid gate, and they might lose top for it now, but they will still have 20. And we'll see if they end up taking both their bot siege camp as well as bot bruiser. I'm expecting red team will take their top right bruiser now and then clear out mid and bot.
So 20s
The
are
one
out now.
20.
They're on the board now for HoTS Tuah. We see the Heaven's Fury upgrade for Johanna, which gives Holy Bolts and reducing its cooldown for each hero hit. We've got the headshot from the Diva, Caltrops or Acrobat for extra vault for, and that gives you additional Qs as well. If he took the ability that, yes, resets Hungering Arrow. We've got the Farseer's Blessing and Divine Protection. So additional armor, which isn't going to be quite as strong against the Cleave.
I think we're going to see a fight without Artanis for this camp. That might be a bit too ambitious from red team here.
The mech is going to come out and make escaping this way difficult. The team has been split, and they do
Hanzo
catch the Hanzo. There's the jump onto great pull there by Lulu. Is going to keep the Garrosh alive as they look to turn a little bit. Just at least turn some damage on with Arthur out, but this camp is captured by Mimius Vala as the bottom bruiser is chunking this bottom gate. But there's also a bruiser camp pushing towards the top gate here. Shrines are neutral, one for each team. The bottom gate will go down as it'll be 40 seconds where Hanzo returns. Here comes the Condemn. Unstoppable by Chicken Meow here. The throw out. Here comes the VP, but the blind, and it misses because of, but here comes the light bulb, and they have the timing perfectly. They're going to jump on Memius. The Farseer's Blessing misses, and they do have Zeratul, but getting chunked out here. The double healer is making it very difficult to get the damage he wants. Both getting chunked. Arrow's getting chunked. He is killed by the Rhaegar. And Zeratul will go to the bottom point, but the top has been collected by the Diva, and so now they've staggered another deck. Their tank is dead for 53 more seconds as Hanzo comes up in 5.
Yeah, it's really rough losing to Hanzo in that previous fight and then not having any goalie to clear those double set of siege.
Really good cleanse there by Pulverizes Rhaegar. Keeps Uther safe from the flip. And that ends up just leaving Artanis to die in another staggered death.
Yeah, we should see blue team take Dragon here. They could attempt to end the game as well. We'll see if there's enough damage to come through to dissuade them, but I don't expect there would be. Garrosh will be up in time.
So we've got the Shadow Mending on the Zeratul. Inner Fire, Bullseye, Orbital Bombardment, so second charge, and the Titanic Might. But there's 12 more seconds on Garrosh and 30 more seconds on Artanis. Now, Hanzo only has 10 stacks. He doesn't have the full ability to fire from his longest range yet, and that means he's in kick range.
They could certainly threaten the end here. I'm not sure they're going to, though. I think they want to just
Codename Zero looking at this top keep instead. Although Memius is targeting, it looks like there's some miscommunication from the team. They're looking at different things. The taunt comes out. The light bomb's coming out as well. It does hit 2, but there's no DPS to follow up. Dragon's Arrow will come out and will hit 2, but we do see the Divine Storm up to the north here. Arrow does go down to this dragon as Hanzo finishes his stacks. He's dueling Memius right now. The blind, 4 second of blind comes out, means it's going to be hard for them to finish this core, as it's an incredibly powerful ability for Artanis. The Farseer's Blessing Ancestral Healing comes out and will heal the entire team back to full. And we're still missing Garrosh for 45 more seconds. They're looking to finish here. They're looking to blow up their opponents. Hanzo gets away, but the Hungering Arrow blows him up. They're looking to kill Artanis as well. Arthur now looking to catch whoever can do the most damage here, but Memius' Vala is chunking this core. 66 stacks of, now the Vorpal, or the Void Prison will keep it. Artanis will go down now, and it's too much. Arthur now is getting his health back. Lulu will get caught, manages to get back just in time, but they're not able to stop this. They will kill Uther, but it's too little, too late. As the Void will go, as the core will go down, and game number 2 will go to HoTS Tuah as they dominate this series. Interrupted you a couple times there, Faint. Sorry.
All good. Yeah, no, it was a great fight. Good long brawl at the end there, and some interesting counter engage and cross CC attempts from both teams. We saw the arrow coming through on a couple backliners there, but the double support and the front to back just being too much for the Zeratul draft to handle, and it's difficult and tricky to execute those. They were able to get quite a few combos though that went off quite well, and even into answers like Joe's Falling Sword, but good fights from both teams, and GG's.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much to both these teams for playing a great series. It was a blast to cast. Thank you to Faint for joining me. And yeah, it's this is a domination for HoTS Tuah for 4 points in the standings of NGS Division C. That's it for us today. That's our third cast of the day. VODs will be on Twitch for 7 days, and then they'll be on YouTube afterward. Any last thoughts before we call it a day here, Faint?
No, some interesting drafts and creative ult combos and so forth from both teams. So good games all around.
Yeah. GG's. Hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend, and please go enjoy yourself some Heroes of the Storm.